I thought our guys did really a tremendous job tonight in a lot of different areas, certainly in the first half. I mean, whoever thinks any team ever goes 12 for 13 from the three-point line was a little concerned at halftime that we were only up 8. Usually that's a recipe to be up by about 30. But I thought the difference was, they got to the free throw line, they scored a lot of points in the deep paint, and that certainly offset some of our three-point shooting, and then the fact that I think that they maybe were 5 for 10 from the line. The third quarter, I thought we played really, really well on both ends of the floor, offensively, defensively. Then that fourth quarter, I thought we got a little bit stagnant. We missed some shots. And give them credit. They made a lot of very, very difficult, tough challenge shots and some open shots to give themselves a chance. And then, obviously, Russell made some exceptional plays coming down the stretch. And I thought the last possession defensively with the second left on the clock, we did a really, really nice job of forcing him into a tough shot. So there was a lot of things. I thought when our our offense was not going well, I thought we kind of relied on our defense and we battled through. We battled through a lot of different things tonight. They're a very, very good team, and it was good to see some of the adversity we had to go through as a team to overcome, to put ourselves in position to win.
You got anything new to say about Westbrook after what he did last 3 minutes?
Yeah, I said this before. I really felt like he had some really, really good looks, at the elbow, free throw line area that he just did not make. And it was kind of very similar to the third quarter at Utah the last time we played them. He went through, I think he was maybe 0 for 6 or 0 for 7 in the third quarter against Utah. And then in the fourth quarter, he kind of made a layup and he kind of got himself going. Like I said, he's got a great ability that as the game's going on to put whatever is behind him and focus what's in front of him. And, that's what he did. I was about to call timeout on the missed shot rebound. And I saw it was a broken floor situation for him, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to create and do what he does, and it was a great N1 and finish for us. And then Steven, I thought Steven did a really, really nice job. It probably will go unnoticed. Joe Johnson, he were isolated in the corner, and he drove baseline, and Steven did a really nice job kind of keeping him behind the backboard, and we were able to generate a turnover there.
Billy, what are your thoughts on that final minute in terms of the defensive lineup you had out there, particularly with having Taj out there, a guy who hasn't played a ton of games with this crew? Being able to close out the way y'all did defensively in that final minute or so.
Yeah, Alex gave us a great boost starting, played really, really well. It was a tough foul on the three-point shooter. I thought that was a tough call. I don't know if it was necessarily, I don't think he felt like he fouled him. And then he was switching and trying to put us in some binds, and just kind of made a decision to really at that point just kind of go all defense, coming down the stretch, and tried to put our best guys out there. And maybe it goes against conventional thinking, so to speak. When you're down by 4, you think you need offense at that point in time. But I thought we needed to get a couple stops, and I did feel like we were always going to be able to get pull-up jump shots open for Russell, and I felt very confident that at some point in time, like, those are good shots for him. Those are great shots for him when he takes pull-up jump shots. So that lineup, I thought, to close out the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever it was, did a really, really, really nice job all the way through.
Is that also a reflection of how much you trust Russell to put him out there with 4 primarily defensive-minded players?
Well, again, and a lot of it had to do with how they defend. They do a great job of playing pick-and-roll coverage with 2 people. They stay home on three-point shooters, and they look for Gobert to obviously alter a lot of things, and they're going to live with pull-up jump shots. And analytically, that's the way I think every team in the league wants to play defense, is make teams take non-paint twos. But when you're coming down the stretch of a game, and there's a minute and a half to go in the game, like, the analytic part of the non-paint 2 goes out the window. Because if it's a one-point game and you're giving up potentially a 2-point shot, open, that doesn't really make a difference at that point in time. And I just felt like we needed to play defense against them to get some stops, and I felt like we could generate Russell on some pull-up jump shots. And I felt confident that he would make a couple. He made a couple late. But they're really good defensively. You know, they stay home. They're really, really well schooled in terms of just like understanding when to late switch, you know, when to pull off the corners, go bare back there. I mean, they cause a lot of problems. But I felt like if we could put a defensive lineup out there and we could still maybe give Russell some opportunities to make some pull-up jump shots, which he's done a great job of all year, that was the way to go.
You guys have far and away the best net rating in clutch time situations this year. Like, it's not even close to any other team. And maybe this is phrasing it a little bit too maybe this is phrasing it a little too simplistically,
Yeah.
but why is that? Why are you so much better than every other team in the league in clutch time?
You know, I don't know. I mean, you know, it's always like a great thing, you know, teams or players or this guy, that guy in the clutch. You know, we have a player, you know, in Russell that has great internal belief in himself and great belief in his teammates. And he's always playing with a level of optimism, with a level of enthusiasm, and with a never-die attitude all the time. And like I said, regardless of what's happened on the previous play, he can move to the next play. And, like, listen, it's not only him. You know, we got good guys. I mean, if you go back to the Utah game, the last time we played them, you know, Russell misses a pull-up jump shot, and Steven Adams comes flying in and makes an offensive rebound with 15 seconds to go in the game. That was a huge play. There's just a lot of different things, different plays that guys are making. You know, it's not, I mean, Russell's obviously scored and is played incredibly coming down the stretch. But, you know, Steven Adams' defense, you know, at the end, a play here, a play there, Jeremy Grant, you know, different things that he's done. It's really been a collective group effort all the way around. And, you know, you got to have some good fortune. You know, the ball's got to go in the basket, you got to get some stops. But I think our guys understand that there's a lot that all five of them have to do while they're out there in terms of doing their job. And, you know, for whatever reason, these guys have done a really, really great job with that.
Coach, it's one thing to make 12 threes to start the game, but it's another thing to do it when your team is last in the league in three-point percentage going in. Obviously, the ball's going in, but what's going on that's giving you guys these shots, that's giving you guys these opportunities beyond the obvious of the ball going in?
Well, you know, again, like let's be honest now. You know, Alex Abrinas is a very good shooter, and I think things that he's doing now that he's catching up with is he's getting better defensively, and he's working better defensively. He's got a better understanding with the number of games he's played. You know, you added Doug McDermott, who's a phenomenal three-point shooter. You take Russell, who's always a threat from behind the line. Jeremy Grant has shot the ball exceptionally well from out of the corner. You know, our three-point shooting with the trade, to be honest, has gotten better. You know, we've become a better shooting team. And, you know, Victor's out right now, and I think even Victor's a good three-point shooter. So hopefully we can, you know, make a jump and an improvement in that area, and we can make shots. You know, I thought Doug had some really good looks last game against New Orleans. They didn't go down. Tonight they went down. He had a couple good looks there in that third quarter, beginning of the fourth, that didn't go down as well. But, you know, I have a lot of confidence in our guys shooting the basketball. I think we're going to be a better three-point shooting team than maybe we have been. And hopefully, you know, with our roster, we can continue to generate, you know, three-point shots, because I think it's obviously a big part analytically of the game in terms of the percentages and the return on those kind of shots.